$100,000. It's a lot of money. So if you were stupid enough to spend it all on TF2 items, what would you get? Well, why don't we start off big? Like really big. The most expensive TF2 hat to ever be sold was actually not the Burning Flames team captain, as most of you probably thought. No, the most money a TF2 hat has ever retailed for was the Poison Shadows antlers, which went for an insane 28 grand, along with a strange professional killstreak golden frying pan, which is currently going for around 6 grand. That's a total of $34,000 for a single unusual, which honestly doesn't even look that amazing. So to purchase that huge, we're gonna have to tone it down a little. And what better way to do that than with solid gold guns. TF2 Australians are notoriously flashy, usually a sign of a good player or just a rich one. To buy all of the main Aussies, it would cost just under $1,000, which in comparison seems kinda small. Just don't forget that these are all virtual items in a 15-year-old game. But there is one more big part that I left out. A single item that costs 6 times more than all the others combined. The golden pan. Although there are tons of items that cost more than a pan, everyone knows you're rich when you pull out one of these. So because we still have a ton of money to spare, why don't we buy 2? You know, just in case we lose the first one. That's totaling out at 12 grand. So now we move on to Warpaints. Of course you could just buy a factory new Jazzy and pay like $75, but if you dig a little deeper, you can find much more expensive items than that. The top shelf items from the Tough Break update are all commando grade, and it's impossible for them to drop in strange quality. So if you get one, you have to trade up over 1,000 civilian grade strange items, each of those costing over $40 and are only going up. So for the chance to get one of these, you're going to be spending over $40,000. Even more than the unusual list at the start of the video. The only thing is, no one's ever actually going to do that. I hope. Ever since Zesty Jesus made a video on it, the price has doubled. So let's say that my estimate was a bit over, and maybe someone's already crafted it to lower price. If so, you're still going to be spending over $25,000, and even that's a huge underestimate. Unusual weapons are another option, and they have much more variance. With changes between rare, strangeness, unusual or not, getting a perfect weapon is going to set you back a lot. Coming from the Warbird collection, one of the most expensive decorated weapons to ever go to retail is the strange factory new Isotope Warhawk rocket launcher. Adjusted to key prices, we'll be going for around $6,440. But we've just been looking at 3 weapon unusual types, and you'd be fair to think that's it. But the Secret Fort unusual effect was basically removed from the game for being far too buggy. Even so, some were unboxed before it was removed, and they can go for some pretty high prices. The problem is though, since they were removed a long time ago, the number of them in circulation is only ever going to go down, with some collectors buying them and keeping them locked in their backpack. So as you can imagine, if a decent one ever goes on sale, it's for some crazy prices. The best energy orb unusual I could find on Backpack TF is this strange pink elephant sticky bomb launcher. And even though it's field tested, the initial asking price is around $7,665, and the seller even says they've lowered their prices recently. For any decent wear and a good skin with energy orb, you could easily be paying $15,000, so we've got around $10,000 remaining. Why don't we give back to the community? Why don't we spend it on map stamps, given to the people who really make this community function? Or why don't we forget all of that generosity and start getting to the really big purchases? For $100,000, you can buy 40,000 keys, 86,956 obliterateds, or if you're looking for a very big number, 64 million bonk atomic punches. Which, by the way, according to the bonks advertising, contain approximately 9,900 grams of sugar each. But what about golden pans? Usually very expensive and coveted, but with this sort of money, you could get 16 golden pans and completely inflate the prices, which might actually be one of the few ways in this list you could break even, or even make a small return. So how could you do that? Because believe it or not, the TF2 economy could be a very strong investment. One of the strongest ways I've found is to buy up old crates and the items from them, hold for a while, then gradually sell out with the raised demand and cost. Then again, I'm not very well versed in TF2 trading. It doesn't take a genius to know that the TF2 economy is very different from the real world one. If any of you are actually well versed in trading, please correct me in the comments. So how else could we spend this ludicrous amount of money? Well, you could be in a given mood and decide to send items to other people. The best way to do that is using gift pulls, and disregarding the actual items you're going to send, you could give 316 gifts to every account on TF2. There's also hat crafting, which might make you a profit, but it would also permanently crash the price of craft hats, so there is that. The TF2 economy might be worth a lot more than you think. Although 100,000 seems like a huge amount, there's many backpacks with more than that. Most of them probably private. Along with that, the TF2 economy was evaluated at 50 million over a decade ago, and it's likely in the hundreds of millions now. So that's it. This one took a lot more research than most of my other videos, so it's hard to make it that long. As always, if you have any cool ideas for videos, be sure to send them in to me. Hope you enjoyed, good luck.